When coming up with a sales price for your home, do you look at the Zestimate? Do you just pick the same price as the house down the street? How about looking at the county assessor's site and seeing what you're being taxed on? Those are all pieces of looking at what your home should sell for, but how do the professionals really price your home? I'm Natalie Bratton with RE/MAX First in Oklahoma City, and today I'm going to share with you some of the things that I do when pricing a listing. Hey everybody, I'm Natalie Bratton with RE/MAX First in Oklahoma City. I am your Oklahoma ambassador, and I am here for all things real estate in Oklahoma. I like to show you restaurants and parks and places to go and things to do, but I also want to educate you to make you the best home buyer or home seller you can be. And by the way, if you're planning a move to Oklahoma, I would love to be your realtor and help you in your transaction. There is a lot that goes into pricing your home besides just looking at an online portal and just picking a number out of the air. So today I want to share with you a few of the things that I do when pricing a listing. Now, Zestimates and online evaluations, like those are all good. I like to look at those and have a range. But you know what? Those are very short-sighted evaluations. They don't take in all the parameters and the details. They've never been inside your home. They've never been in your neighborhood. They're just computer algorithms. So today I want to share with you a few of the details of how we go about pricing. There are a lot of factors I look at to help my client know what their list price should be. We're going to look at the comparable sales in the neighborhood. We're going to look at how much competition is out there with other listings. We're going to look at the client's needs. How quickly do they need it to sell? Is there a certain amount they need to try to get, and is it possible? We like to look at the neighborhood as a whole. What kind of price point are buyers looking at if they're in your neighborhood? And then we look at absorption rate. How many homes are on the market? How quickly should they sell? You know, is the market saturated or undersaturated with listings? So there's a lot to look at, not just a Zestimate or what the county assessor has. You also want to look at making sure you have the correct size and square footage for your home. So let me dig in a little bit and get into more of the details. Comparable sales. If you live in a regular residential neighborhood, chances are over the last 6 months to 12 months, there have been other sales. And those are the ones we look at the most closely. So I'm looking for homes that are within the same size and the same age range as your home. And really, I like to do probably 200 or 300 square feet more or less than your home. And then we're going to compare apples to apples. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms? And then I'm going to go in and get more detailed once I've narrowed it down to those. So then I'm going to get even more specific. Now we're going to go in and look at every listing and take notes. I'm going to look at the pictures. I'm going to write down how many days it was on the market. Did this seller pay any of the buyer's closing costs? Does it still look like the day it was built, or has it been updated? So I'm going to go through and make all the notes and make the comparisons. And through that, going, this is better, on through them, we're going to narrow down the price range to where it should be. If you live in an area where there aren't any sales, if it's a residential neighborhood, I'm going to go out half a mile, maybe to a mile, and look for similar homes within just a broader range. If you live on an acreage, if you live in an area where it's not normal residential neighborhood, if everybody's on land and spread out, well then sometimes I'll go a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, depending how unique your property is and how much land you have. I might even go out 5 miles to try to find comparable properties. The next thing I want to do is look at what's called the absorption rate. And that's a fancy term for saying,
how many homes are likely to sell in your neighborhood each year, and how long would it take for them to sell?
How competitive do you have to be to get your home sold? Extra things we sometimes have to do is get the house measured. If what the county assessor has for your square footage is incorrect, or if all you have are like the builder's plans for when the house was built, then you may have to pay to get a professional to measure your home so you have the accurate square footage. Now, if you bought it with a mortgage and you have an appraisal, the appraiser measured it when you bought it. And so it's really good to have those on hand because we can use that square footage to base our sales price on. Next, we're going to look at market conditions. I need to know how fast homes are selling in your area. And then I look at the history too. Like, did everybody who sold in the last 6 months, did they start at one price and have to do price reduction after price reduction? Like, you want to look at the total picture of how it's going. You have to look at the whole big picture. So that's the basics: comparable analysis, market conditions, square footage, competition. Those are really the biggest things. I'm not going to show you my software, like that's boring, right? But I have several things I use to help me do the research. So that's besides looking at a Zestimate, those are the things you do when you're pricing your home. I hope that wasn't too boring. I know some of you are out there getting ready to get your home ready to put it on the market. And so when you sit down with me and we talk prices and market conditions, just know that there was a lot of research that went into it. So if you want to sell your house in 2025, give me a call. If you're not in the Oklahoma City metro area, call me anyway, because I have American Dream TV colleagues and RE/MAX colleagues all over the country, and I can certainly hook you up. See you next time.